If this was a perfume and cosmetic company, you would not see me standing here. I could care less about products. You see me every day, right? I do take a shower every day. But this shirt I wear every day, different one from Zara. 50 dirham. I don't care about things. I am not effeminate. But I am a person who cares about people. And I am in the business of helping people change their lives. Because my life was a difficult one. Some people don't think so when they see me. Guy, silver spoon from France, it's a rich little boy. You know, his mama gives him everything. No. I had a very tough life. Very tough. And that gave me all of the tools today that empowers me to want to help others. Because when I see people, I see a broken society. Every single person. You show me a person with a Phantom Rolls Royce and I tell you, this man is a broken man. Most people in this world today are broken-hearted people. Everybody has traumas. Everybody has challenges. But when you know and you meet people here in the UAE, you will see that everybody is out to make it. But they're not making it. 90% of people out there are not making it. Who believes that there is a middle class? Raise your hand. Who believes there is a middle class? You have poor people, rich people, super rich people, and middle class. Who believes there is a middle class? I don't. Why? Why? You want to know? Yes, I will tell you why. Middle class is a lie. It's a big white lie. When you see somebody waiting in a bus, or waiting in a metro, and when you're in a metro, you know, like in a metro, you look down and you see the cars, you see the middle class people, and you think, you see when you're passing next to two buses and they look at you in the car and say, I was poor before. I remember taking metro from New York for 1 hour to go to work every morning, and I remember looking at those rich kids, 16 years old, in their Porsche, and I look in the bus, and the guy like, you know, with all this, with this nice girl, and I could not even have a girl look at me, you know, because I was in the bus. I said, why? What do you think? They kill everybody, you know, angry. There is no middle class, because what you're seeing is somebody that is pretending to be rich. And they're really no different than the poor. Not much. It's not that much of a difference. Matter of fact, many of them are up to here in debts. That means they're so stressed that the stress is killing them more than the guy who's sleeping on the bus, because he doesn't have to worry about driving. He just, you know, and going back to work. He's not stressed. There's no real difference. Middle class is something that was created, but really middle class people are pretending to be rich, and their life and their quality of life actually is not that much better than the poor. In some instances, the poor, in really poor countries, are so happy. But then the middle class person in Dubai, it's like that, and the back is hurting, and they have migraine all the time. You know, the joints are hurting, the lower back is hurting, they can't sleep. Now everybody has problems, no? But the poor person in the village farming, you know, he's got nothing, you know, this is like that, no teeth. And he's smiling, he's smiling. And you come in the village and you're come here, and you come here. So for me, for me, I got into this business. Hello, how are you? I miss you. So for me, I talk about this business as a life-changing because we're not only in the business of selling perfume, we are in the business of providing people freedom. But often people are leaving jobs, prison, to go to another type of prison. So I'm here to also teach in this company, when the time is right, that you can be free from everything. The first thing, though, is learning how to be financially free. And in order to be financially free, you need to get rid of your hands tied behind your back. Because if you are tied behind the back, okay, and you are in this vicious cycle of work, and you don't get out of that, your life is not going to change. Change demands action. So you need to act to change something. And you were in that position, right? All of us were in a position. But it takes courage, because prisoners are afraid sometimes of freedom. Some prisoners who had life behind bars, some of them, given chances to get out, prefer to stay in. And that's what happens with 90% of the people who are employed. Afraid. Will I get the basic salary? Because I don't know if I can do it. I'm afraid. Because we're all afraid. We live with fear. I know that this business is great because it enables you to learn how to fly. But we got to fix your broken wings, because you got broken wings. So we're into the business of changing life and repairing you. I am a surgical approved, not really certified, surgeon, medical surgeon. I will go inside your brain and slowly but surely I will rewire your functions.
Please.
Because this is the beginning of a real transformation. Next, let's start about FM. Because FM gives us the opportunity to do all of this. Who are we? That's very interesting. FM. Next. We are a European-based company. Why is it important for me to mention Europe? I know I was born in France, but trust me, I don't particularly wave the flag of France, okay? But it is important to note that the products that are being produced and certified by European Union standards. It is still today in the world the highest quality standard in the industry. So for Christ's sake, when we talk about quality, can you not question FM? Because it is European standards. Some people here in this country who are selling all fakes here, everywhere, they're saying, is this legal? I said, are you joking me, man? Everything is illegal here and you're telling me this produced in Europe. If it's legal, are you joking? Of course this is. We are a European-based company with 600,000 distributors. Now, when we say 600,000 distributors, we don't mean 600,000 successful business people. Because it's not enough to pay 199 dirham and say, oh, I'm an FM member, to call yourself a successful distributor. You are a consumer of the product, and you should be happy, because you are saving 70% of the brands. So you should be, woohoo! Great, thank you. No, thank you. That's it. Just for that reason alone. We have millions of satisfied consumers throughout the world. Again, this is important for you because when you look at the perfume and you see this, just like me, by the way, when I first saw it, my wife brought me this, actually, no, this wasn't it, was this. She brought me this about 4 years ago, and she brought it to me as a present. And I looked, from Poland? That's what I did. That's what I did the first time she gave it to me. Because I'm French. You're joking me, no? You're gonna give me Polish perfume? I'm Chanel. I'm rich now. I'm not even middle class anymore. I can afford the real stuff. You gonna joke me? I'm not gonna get this. That's the stupidity that I'm going to talk to you about. I was the #1 most stupid person ever. And there are many. It took my wife 2 years of persistence. Only a woman can do that. Maggie, all the time. Try, you're stupid. You know how to do it. 2 years. And one day, I ran out of my favorite perfume. It was Paco Rabanne. I loved 1 million. And she said, oh, try this one, number 199. It smells wonderful. And I ran out of it. You know when you're like looking and you don't have any more, so you're like, you know, moving the bottle like 100 times every corner, but you're still not getting any spray? I was in that place. So she left 199 on the shelf, and she put a little note with a smiling face. Please try me, my love. and I was like, you know, I was so lazy that night that I did not want to get the driver and cross over to buy the department store. So I finally tried it. And not only did I love it, but it lasted longer than the perfume I was previously using. And all of a sudden, I was scratching my head because all of my world knowledge as a French-born citizen just was thrown in the garbage. Because there was a perfume that costed 70% less, that was even better quality, right there, at my disposal. So, imagine this. Imagine, you know, how many times in your life do you get this sort of revelations? I don't get revelation. You shop in Carrefour, no? Lulu, Carrefour, everybody knows Carrefour, no? Right? Now imagine if tomorrow I said, come with me. I found this fantastic thing. You can buy everything that you love to eat every day for 70% cheaper than Carrefour. What would you say? Honestly, it would be a revolution, correct? This is what we're talking about. We are talking about exactly that. A revolution in the industry. What a revelation. What an interesting concept. And what a power we as representative of FM, that we have the capability to share this revelation to the world. I don't know if you think this is not extraordinary. Forget it. What is extraordinary? I find this extraordinary company for this reason. But there are so many other reasons. But this is the main. So let's move to the next one. It's only starting, huh? Millions of satisfied consumers. Now I get people once in a while, and I'm sure you have to in England. Some people you sell and they come back and say, the perfume is not good, right? The perfume is not good. You had this couple of times, couple of people are like, Alex, something is wrong. I mean, where? And you get, distributor gets their confidence shaken. It's the biggest scary thing. When you sell perfume, you're all happy, 100 happy people, and 101. He will say, this is not good. You sold me something not good. It's a cheap perfume. Give me my money back. And you're petrified. It's almost like you pee in your pants when that happens. And your heart is broken because you fell in love with, it's all emotions. You forgot about the business. You forget that this is a business, guys. So you must be focused, not make it personal. Perfumes are personal. Perfume is alive, live. What is alive? It means it changes. That means if I spray one perfume on your skin, and I spray it on my skin, it will react differently to you as it would react to me. That's number one. Number two, your ability to smell is different than mine. A woman has a stronger ability than a man. An older woman loses their ability to smell. If somebody is cooking every day and does seafood, what do you think he's going to have? Problem smelling. Also, distributors make many mistakes, and especially when they go out selling perfume. Because as soon as they become distributor, they're experts in perfume. They don't know anything about perfume. First, how many distributors did I see do this? You don't do that. You don't smell a perfume like this. I mean, you might as well put it up your nose. Perfumes are broken down into three categories. Top notes, middle notes, base notes. Top notes is the same thing you see when you have shampoo, right? You love your shampoo with mango. Ooh, you're soaping yourself. You're smelling mango. You could almost eat yourself, right? As soon as you get out of the shower, there is no mango. That's called top notes. Top notes are volatile. They move up, they're gone. So it means nothing. What you want is you want to see how the best base notes settles on your skin. And base note takes a couple of hours before it settles in. That's why you should always try perfume or let your clients try perfumes, couple of them, 2, 3 maximum, and let it sit on your skin to see how well it marries with them. Okay? But we will show you that the perfumes are of the same, if not even better quality than branded perfumes. So when somebody says it's not good, I tell them, well, you don't want to know what I tell them, but it's not true. But now, if I ask distributors one thing when they come back to me, and I said, okay, you have a problem with a person? Yes, sir. He knows. He's wearing the real perfume. I said, what the hell, the real? Everybody's real. We're authentic. What are you talking? I'm not real. Are you real? Yes, right? But you're an inspiration of your mother and father, right? Okay. So you're real. So what is real? Anyway, the question that I ask is, I say, when you became a distributor, did you test the perfume? Did you go compare it? Did you write on a little piece of paper to see? No. And 99% of your distributor will say, no. And I say, what sort of business person are you? You're going into a business and you still are not doing what you should do first, which is what? Verify. You don't even know if I'm telling you the truth. Verify. Everything in this world you must verify. I did. I tested every single one of them. I even bought, and I tried with my skin. I saw it really. I am so convinced that nobody can shake my confidence level. And every single distributor should never even go out there before they are confident. But nevertheless, when you are in direct selling, and you know because you're an expert from Avon, that you will always have problems, right? Because you can't please everybody, right? have the ignorance. Remember my ignorance at the beginning? Whereas, if it's Polish, it's not good. So it didn't really matter, even if she would spray, it's not good. Because it's like, hello, is anybody inside the head? No, nobody is inside the head at that time. So we are in the business of reprogramming everybody from A to Z. It's a tough job. These distributors in the back are here from Russia, you're from UK, and you've been Avon and you know the ground. It's a tough thing, it's hard. It's a hard business, but it's the most gratifying and rewarding business of all. It's the type of things that gives you so much passion that alone fuels you to overcome the obstacles that you will find. Next, company history. It started in 2004 in Poland, and by a name Arthur Travinsky, picture up here with his wife, Kasia. When this started in 2004, they realized that the company was getting really successful. As a matter of fact, they had a huge, rampant growth, early growth, that they decided in 2007 to create FM Group World and expand throughout the world. In less than 7 years, they expanded to 47 countries around the world. Now, give me names of companies that have grown so fast in such a little time. Can you give me some names? Give me some companies. Companies that you've heard about. Have you ever heard of Google? No? Macintosh? No? Microsoft? Companies that have abnormal growth means they have a successful formula. And a formula that's a winning one. That's the only reason company grows from nothing to this. Next. Very important. Who are the partners? This is very important, you guys remember, especially for all the new people here. When people ask you, who are the partners of FM? We have several partners. One of the partners is called Drone. Anybody heard of Drone? Yes. You've heard of that. Drone, have you? You have, because you were in the perfume business, no? No? You heard? You heard? You heard it because you even heard of FM in Nigeria. You even had a perfume. But you see, most people don't know Drone. When somebody told me Drone, I said, Drone? What sort of company is called Drone? Drone. I don't know. Like FM radio station, I don't know. What sort of company? But then I started, Wikipedia. Have you ever used Wikipedia? It's a great source of information. If you go tonight, Drone, you will see some secret stuff. You will see that Drone has been creating compositions for 90% of the world's most famous branded perfume in the world. You will also see in Wikipedia that it's written in there that FM is one of their biggest clients. Wow! That's reaffirmation. It's reinforcing confidence, not only in the product, but in the alliance of the strategic partners of the company. Anybody recognize any names here? Just this one. That's the only one you want to remember. FM. Forget about everything else. It doesn't exist. Never existed. Next. The other key partner. You have a lot of companies out there. A lot of choices. But you know what's really important besides the product and the price point of the product? It's the production. The production. Who makes what? Is it outsourced? Who is making it? Because if you don't have top quality production capability, you got nothing. We have it. We have it. This guy here in the back is the daddy of Arthur. He's the mad scientist behind the lab. He's the one who's been running this company since 1995 after the fall of communism in Poland. And this guy was making big bucks before. He didn't need FM. He was breaking it in, man. FM was nothing when it started for him. He was already in the business of making business, big business. So this guy already had knowledge of the product. He already had a favorable economy in that continent that enabled them to beat competition and to allow for price points to really be attractive. But the son came out with the multi-level marketing, because when you have a great product, what are your choices? MLM is a great choice. If you have the best product, 70% less price than in shops, and everybody uses makeup and loves to wear perfume. How many people love to smell bad? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Nobody. So if you have nobody, then everybody is a potential FM distributor. Everybody. How many billion people are there in the world? Do you know? A lot of people. There's a lot of people. Every single person. Every single living being potentially is an FM future distributor. Everybody. It's not like we're some sort of diet pill company providing you a magic potion to living 200 years. We're giving you product that everybody's using. And it's cheaper than what you can find it in the store. And I'm finished. Great, thank you very much. Wonderful, I'm finished my presentation. Thank you. Just joking. You guys are so serious. Next. So you see you have all of your partners here that really form a very strong group. Next. We have different classifications in the world of perfume, starting with the highest, which is called parfum. In all of your perfumes, you have, let's say, ingredients, which are the essence, the oil, and then you have what they call the hydroalcohol, right? If I put alcohol on your skin, you will not smell it, right? It goes away, it evaporates right away. If you mix it with oil, right, the oil stays. So the highest the content of the oil, the longer it will stay, correct? Yes. Right? So parfum is the highest quality. Eau de parfum is the second one. We don't have eau de toilette. We don't carry eau de toilette. I don't carry eau de toilette. I don't know if they exist anymore. Can you name some branded perfume that's eau de toilette? Can you name some?
Gucci, there's Thierry Mugler.
Okay, very good. Thierry Mugler.
Gucci also.
Gucci. B&G. Light blue. Fahrenheit. Dior.
Clinic Happy.
Huh?
Clinic Happy.
Yeah, Clinic Happy.
Almost everything.
Almost everything. Almost everything. Another revelation, right? What's the revelation? The revelation is that most of the branded perfume that we just mentioned right now are here. And I just told you we don't carry that. And I just told you that this is better than this. And this is FM. So what's the conclusion? FM is better. Simple. Another revelation. Next. Facts on fragrances. People always ask me, they ask me every day, sir, is there really money here? And I laugh. It's just that money. How much money do you want? How much money do you want? I don't know. I don't know. You ask me how much money is in business, but I ask you how much money do you want? You cannot tell me a number? I don't know. million? I don't know. About 5 million? I don't know. How about $1 million? I don't know. In the GCC, in this area here, which used to be a desert 20 years ago, nothing. Nothing. Just sand. Camel. 20 years. This is the power, the economic power in the world. 20 years. And culturally speaking, perfume is in their blood. It wasn't the French that invented perfume. It was the Arabs. We're nothing. We just brought it to the world. Back into the world. Like thousands of years later, after the Second World War. Right? It's in their blood. In France today, in Europe, and they will tell you, you know what they do in Europe? They take the perfume and they put little bit. And the whole day. The whole day. Joke. You know what they do here, right? You've seen it. They empty the bottle and then they get into their car and they use another bottle as an air freshener. They get into the office, they pull the drawer, you see that, and they take 7, 8 bottles. They drink the bottles. So is there money here? I don't know. I don't know. Question is, how much money do you want out of the $3 billion? This area alone in the GCC are generating over $3 billion US. The most successful duty-free, airport duty-free shop in the entire planet is the Dubai. 2012, they sold nearly 300 million between cosmetic and perfume in 1 year out of that airport. By the way, in December, it will become the busiest airport in the world, passing London. 10 years ago, there was nothing. Question is there money? Yeah, there is money. That's why all the brands are creating special collection for the Middle East, right? Because this is where the money is. It's not in Europe. In Europe, there is no money. It's finished. They're counting the pennies. They're counting. They're not even using perfume if they don't have to because they want to keep the bottle as long as possible on their vanities. There is no money there. It's finished. Done. Do svidaniya. Goodbye. Paalam. Kita kits. Done. Finish. The only question is, are you capable of tapping into this market? Well, that's something different, guys. That's not easy. This is a new market. It's the wild, wild west. Right? There is no instruction booklet. And we have 200 nationalities. And everybody's here trying to survive. Or trying to pretend they are middle class. I'm rich. Because I'm in Dubai. Question. Who knows how much it costs to create a branded perfume? The actual content. Now, let's take, for example, for argument's sake, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, wonderful perfume, beautiful, little plastic blue cap, very plastic. Not very nice cap, but far away looks nice. It's 240 dirham, 50 milliliter, Sephora. How much do you think it cost? What do you think? Anybody knows the truth? Do you know?
85%?
You mean 50%?
Yes.
It's about 5%. It's about 5%. And it was at a certain point 10 to 15. You know when? when the industry was still using natural ingredients. Now, natural ingredients are not used. It's synthetic chemicals. None of the perfume, except for a few left on the market, are all synthetic chemicals. Cost is nothing. Cost is nothing. So there's a lot of money for companies. That's why they're able to go out into the market. That's why they're able to pay Nicole Kidman $30 million to look pretty in a commercial and say, hello, I'm Nicole Kidman. You want to be me? Buy me. $30 million. And then everybody's like, okay, I'm going to be like her. What about being like you? You know, we're teaching our society to become somebody else, no? It's like, now it's like everything is identified with somebody else. Why don't we start loving ourselves, you know? I don't know. Maybe we should start with that, right? Instead of brainwashing people by telling them to aspire to be somebody. You don't need to aspire to be. You need to aspire to be who you were meant to be. And that's not me, that's you, right? So next, we move. So people are saying that why designer perfumes are so expensive. That's the main question. Why is it so expensive? Well, guys, I just told you. First, are they producing or are they outsourcing? And if they are producing or outsourcing, you need to think of all of the layers of distribution before it goes to the retail stores outlet. Retail stores outlet cost a lot of money. One shop in Dubai Mall, as big as this, cost 400,000 to 500,000 dirham a month. Guys, do you know what that is? It's $1 million a year. Who can pay that? And then you've got beautiful Nicole Kidman. She wants the money too. She deserves $30 million. No. You deserve the money. She doesn't. She has enough. Greedy, 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 Nicole. And then it goes to the consumer, who's all happy with the bags. I just paid Nicole Kidman her house. Oh, so happy. And then I'm broke, I'm a middle class, I cannot even pay my own house. But I made her richer. It's unbelievable, you know? Every time I just think about it, it just drives me crazy. And I'll tell you one little story, just a little secret story. I remember when I was in New York City, I was maybe 16 and a half, 17 years old. And at the time, I was working as a salesman on commission only, never one salary. Never, never, never salary. On commission, because if my boss, I didn't like him, I would tell him. Nobody owned me, even if I had nothing in my pocket. I had the pride. So, I remember for 1 year, I was really tired of being poor. And I had this girl that I had met who was Spanish, and she was living in Pamplona. Of course, she was on vacation, so I made her believe I was middle class, but I was poor. She fell for it. But I was very good in, even though I had only nice clothes. And I used to work very hard for 1 year to save money to buy a plane ticket to go see her in Pamplona. And I remember for 1 year, I decided to live in this room with other people, but I did not want to buy a bed. So I bought this big, you know, like a comforter, but very thick one. So it was like you know, directly onto the carpet. And that's it, that's all I had, you know? And I had just my suit, which was always the same suit. and my sales, and I would eat one slice of pizza every day for $1.10 for a year to save money. Finally, I got my money, so now I was going to go to see her and to play the little classic. So I had, I rented a car when I got to Spain, and I went to buy perfumes. And I remember what this perfume and what the cost of this perfume meant to me in that year, right? Because people sometimes often, they don't associate their purchases, right, when they're poor. But sometimes it's actually the poor that spends the money so stupidly that because they want to impress, they don't want to recognize what their life is. So they aspire all the time to live a life that's not really theirs. And that's exactly what I was doing. But when I got into this business and I started doing the presentation, this memory as a 16-and-a-half-year-old kid, saving money and eating that after a while, it's a disgusting pizza. At the beginning it was very good. But when you eat the same thing every day for $1.25, it becomes like not really so nice. And I wasn't feeling that great anyway. And you remember, you so remember that money that you spent. And for me, what this reminds me today, where I'm sitting in a very comfortable position as an owner of a company and as somebody who has money today, is that now I have the opportunity to tell people, and I don't know because some people have money, right, that's here, but some others don't. And I have a chance to tell them not to make the mistakes. It's only mistake. It's not a failure. It's a mistake. Mistake. Mm-hmm. Hollywood, take 2. No big deal. But I have an opportunity to educate the people about this. That we need to be smart. You need to put money into your pocket. You need to make yourself and your family rich. That is your priority. And this really gives you a little bit more empowerment when you're aware of this. So let's move to the next one. So then people say, because many people will tell you, right? FM perfume is so cheap, especially here. It's so cheap, so it's not good. Right? Emiratis will say that. If it's cheap, it's not good. That was me talking 4 years ago when Anna presented this, because now I was rich. I'm a millionaire. You're joking me, no? No? I had forgotten, You quickly forget. When you have money now you're all powerful. Now the girls are looking at me. Whoa, now it's a whole different world. It's almost as if I forgot my past. I forgot my past. So the answers that you want to say to people when you are educating them, it takes time to educate them. When you first present the product, you're not going to show them this presentation, but you do have to educate. You have an obligation to all humanity to pass on this information. And one of the information is very simple. You explain to them, we are the producer. And we don't have all these layers. And we don't go out to retail shop. The power goes in the hands of the people. Right? So the people are the one who are the instrument of the distribution. They are the one also reaping the immediate benefit of the savings. Right? Correct?
Yes.
Everybody's on the same page? And you don't see advertising. Have you ever seen, when you're driving on Sheikh Zayed Road, my picture? No. Will you ever see it? No. Every day I get a phone call. FM group, of course I'm the receptionist as well. And I pick up, FM group, can I help you? Yes. Can I speak to marketing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's me. Can I speak to reception? Yeah, it's me. You say that? Yeah, it's me. And they ask, are you interested in promoting your brand? I say, hell no! We don't promote! It's the distributors to promote. My job is to support the distributor. It isn't to compete with them. I'm not going to go there door knocking. I used to, and I loved it, and I kind of miss it. You see me sometimes when I post on Facebook. I can't wait to speak, but I don't really do. I'm not going to go sign up, because it's not my job to do that. My job has changed. But you see, you don't need this. Because the product is so good, you are the celebrities. Now finally, you are you. Nice, no? Isn't it? All this revelation. Feel good. Because it is you. You are the celebrity that you've always wanted to be. Effing celebrity. Simple people, ordinary people like me, living an extraordinary life with FM. That's what we all are. Ordinary people living an extraordinary life with FM. That's all we are. But that's a hell of a great thing. Because in your job, you don't get to feel good, do you? No. Not feel good. You feel bad. In here, we feel good. Feeling good means also having to work hard. Get it? But it's a feeling of freedom. Freedom has a price. My father used to always tell me this. He says, Alex, everything has a price. And freedom holds the biggest price of all. I never quite understood that because I was always free. When I was alone in America at the age of 14, I thought I was free. But I was never free. Even I was alone, never had a boss, was always worked on commission, I was never free. Freedom is a state of mind. It's a state of being. Today I am free. It took me a long time. I don't know. But when you reach the state of true freedom, then nothing around you can touch you or affect you negatively. You become you. At one point in our lives when we were young, we were us, right? When you see your children, every time I see them, they're them, right? They are living completely in the now. And they are who they are. Then slowly, something happened where we begin to lose our identity. And then after we become 30, 40, and we look around and we're like, what do you want? I don't know. Are you happy in your relationship? I don't know. Did you do what you wanted to do in your life? I don't know. Right? You don't know. So that is one of the important things that this business also offers you. But it comes with a price, no? It takes time for you to start building yourself into it. And then, of course, it goes from the production to the distributors. That means that you are not only the consumer, but you are as well the one benefiting potentially from direct selling and from the multi-level marketing. Next. This is something I did, but I don't want to spend too much time because I'm already talking too much. But that's typical of me. I have 8 minutes left?
No, it's 9 now.
Okay, very good. I'm doing extremely bad today. But you know, this is important. It's the first time for you, so it's very important you get everything. Everything. So tonight when you're thinking of all the words I said, and tomorrow morning when you wake up and you've reflected on it, then you know. Because you have to be the one who decides. I cannot decide. It's your life. Everybody's. So, just quickly, retail versus direct sales. When you go to Carrefour, right, and you buy something, do you get a yacht party? No. Why not? You buy a lot, don't you? Do you get thank you or hug? Or I miss you, like I say to many of my members. From the general manager. Should be, right? I miss you! Thank you, Maria, for coming back to Lulu. It's so nice to see you really faithful and loyal. Let me give you something today. Do you get free coffee? No. Nothing. You get nothing. So your traditional retail is you are paying for everything except the product. And you are getting no benefits, no way of making money, nothing. Which is what? A losing proposition. A multi-level or direct selling company that has products that you need and that has products that you are using that is cheaper than the ones you can get in the market, right? I mean, you have to put it out. And that also has a very low membership cost and also has, you know, a no pyramidal effect, right? Illegal scam. Then you're really on the winning end because you get all the benefits. Many benefits. So many benefits. Next. Okay, next. These are the owners. I look very funny on this one. I don't know what happened to me. I really have to start smiling. This is time. That's my other half. Oh, why would you do that? Today's her birthday. So horrible. Heartless person becoming in the room. It's her birthday. I'm not going to do this to him. But he's my friend, Michael Carillo. He comes from a very strong corporate background. This guy was 25 years in the telecommunication company Verizon. He was the vice president of international operations in the Philippines for 10 years, overseeing 6,000 employees. And he decided, because he was before a business partner with me in other companies, he decided to jump in and finally give up the corporate life for the exciting journey of that family. But he's... And we have Dr. Juman Matrushi, who's a very good friend of mine for many, 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 many years, and who is one of the top government officials here, heading a free zone, so very strong local partnership. This is important also for you to know. Next. This is at the time of the signing. We signed on October 2012. That's me with Andre, that's me with Artur. I was sick like a dog. I know you cannot see it, but let me tell you, I was so sick. I was vomiting before, and I was gonna leave before the signing because he was late, and I said, I'm not waiting. So I was ready to leave, and then because I was feeling so sick that day, and he catch me when I was ready to go. Yeah, Alex, let's go upstairs. Are we signing today? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I was. And I had to stay 5 hours to sign, but I was sick like a dog that day. I was, you can't see my face, but I was going every time to the bathroom. I was like, oh God. Then I'm just like, okay. I just wanted to get out afterwards. I was so sick that day. But anyway, it was great. Finally, we signed. Done deal. When we signed, we did not sign only for UAE. We signed all the countries in the GCC. Because I said, when I start this company, I do not want a clown of another owner next to me doing something that I don't appreciate. So I wanted to make sure that the whole region was covered under one umbrella with the right management and with the same focus, sorry. Done? With the same focus that I had from the beginning, because for distributors,
It's fine. It's fine.
either throw the person out. Okay? Because for distributors, it is very important that when you have distributors, they put their heart into this business. They put their time and energy into this business. They put everything they have into this business. It is important for them to know, one, that their future is secured. Two, that the owner is the right one, who's not going to change or backstab or break the rules, make special deals with you, and you do something different. Because that is important. Because when I was a distributor, that to me was the most important. If I wanted to own a country, it wasn't because I wanted more money, like people say. I have plenty. It was because I wanted to control the destiny of this company. Because I do not trust other people to navigate the ship. I know what's right for the distributor, and I will always protect them. I can't vouch for anyone else. Hence, this is why I decided to own this and to take this seat. Next. We have a lot of parties. You've seen a lot of videos that I showed you. This was the grand opening. We had a fantastic, look how big this room is. This is even bigger than FM World Anniversary. It was so cool. We had 240 people. We were drinking, dancing, everything in the address downtown, right looking at Burj Khalifa. This was the first time we announced to the world that here we are. And the second statement is, we are different. We are different. Next. We have these collections. I'm not going to go into details. Most of you know. Each 2 or 3 months, as the company grows, we add products. If we don't have all the products, it's because it takes time for a market to mature. It takes time for distributors to mature. You can't just run, hit the ground, and become diamonds. It takes a long time, especially in a new market like this. So when we put out products, is we know, we've done our studies, and we know the product sells. We only have selling products. We don't have non-sellers. But at the same time, we keep adding more products, because for distributors, it is important for them to have a variety of products as they are moving into the MLM successfully. Next. How to become an exclusive FM Group UAE member. Next. You have 3 options at this time. Smallest one is $199, $350, $400. Next. What's in your kit? These are all in your kit. Next. So what are the 3 options of FM lifestyle? First is the consumer. Okay? Because people will get to know the product by consuming it. And when I say consuming, you don't want them to drink the perfume. I'm saying consuming it by testing it, by trying it on themselves. So consumer is a very important thing. You need to be a consumer of the product. Okay, so when you become a real distributor, you are using all of the FM products. That's the first thing you do with every business. Whatever business you decide to get into, you don't do it part-time. You don't do it, you know, like a little bit there. You do it full ahead. When you love someone, you love 100%. When you hate 100%. Do things, do 100%. That means that you using the product is your first thing. Because when you use the product, then you're able to know about this. And then, of course, as you are consuming, you will inevitably get into the direct selling business. Direct selling is very important because in the business, we have to generate points. Points are generated from sales. So, of course, direct selling is a very important thing. Now, what is interesting inside the UAE that is unique as opposed to maybe other countries in the world is we have a huge, potentially great market for direct sales, correct? Because there is money. So when there is money, there is a market. If you have the right product and the right people, you sell. So that's a great thing. That's a great thing to have direct selling. We also have potential of trading the product to Iran, to all the other countries, because here you have access to all the peoples from around the world. That means that you have great potential to move volumes of products. Now, when you are ready to deal with prospects that potentially can get into the trading business, talk to me. I will guide you and I will help you make the deal happen, because we can do special things as long as the product exits the UAE and it is not inside our territory. We can do many things to help you make big deals. Okay, but that's a whole different ballgame, right? That's export now, right? You got consumer, you got direct sellers, right? Then you got trading companies, no? And then you have multi-level marketing. And multi-level marketing, you will explain about this multi-level. You will be teaching multi-level, right? If we have time. And next. Consumers, okay, you get, okay, very easy, you get 30%. So of course, as you are an FM member, immediately you pay $199 and you automatically get approximately 30% of your catalog prices, which are, again, amazing. Because if in the first place people found the prices amazing, by the way, our makeup is the lowest price makeup of all FM markets in the world, except for the mother company, Poland. Just for a curiosity. So we have very low price, too low. But it's good. So it really is very attractive, no? Next, of course, if you make direct sales, then you put 30% in your pocket. And of course, the third one, that's the business that you are going to be in, and that's basically the cherry on top of the cake. Because multi-level marketing, for me, I never thought I would like networking. I can't even believe I'm in this type of business. But, you know, you teach somebody to sell, it's great, but you're really making them, again, earn only from their direct effort, right? When you stop selling, you stop making. But in multi-level marketing, there is a way, of course it takes a lot of energy, and it takes very specific skill sets to develop it, but that gives the opportunity for people to build, for a year, 2 years, something that has potentially sustainable income for the rest of your life, only if you become a real leader. And a real leader is one that was successful in teaching their downline how to do the business. But again, not everybody is made to do the M&M. Not everybody will become successful. That's the name of the game. But imagine, you worked how many years here? 7 years, right? 7 years. In 7 years, you never had a yacht party, did you? From your... and of course, when you leave 7 years, you've got nothing, right? Okay. Now imagine spending now, starting tomorrow, 1 year building, happy, free, happy, learning, doing things you love. And every time you build, you are building for yourself, for your family, and for your future. So every direct effort you're putting into it, every love that you put into this business, is potentially yielding something that will have repercussion and sustainability for the rest of your life. That's amazing, right? Isn't it crazy? Spending the 7 years and then now realizing that? That's great. And I'm not telling you that to start crying, I wasted 7 years, because we don't waste. Nothing that has been done in the past is a failure. It defines who you are today. It brought you to this point. And at this point, I always tell distributors, you have to decide, what do you want in life? And are you ready? Because